Senator Mary Moran,
Thank,
6 minutes.
thank you, Laska Hirler. I'd like to welcome Minister Riley to the House for the debate this evening, and I'd firstly like to commend Senator Power, Senator Van Turnout and Senator Healy-Eames on bringing this bill forward. I'm delighted that the Minister will be supporting the motion, and I'm delighted that we all will be supporting it. I think it's very, very important. And as I said, I look forward to it going before the Oireachtas Committee on Health and Education. Very important bill. Movement on the issue of access of information for adopted people and their natural parents is something that is a long time coming, I feel, from successive governments. And I would impress upon the Minister the frustration that has deepened year on year for individuals for whom this affects. As I said, I'm delighted to support the bill and the fact that the Minister will be also supporting it and referring it to the Committee on Health and Children. I do welcome that it is the intention to finalise the scheme and the heads of bill on the bill as soon as possible. And I hope that this can be achieved for the sake of the many thousands of people at present and into the future who want access to their information, essentially their identity. I received dozens of emails, as I know all my colleagues have as well, over the last few weeks, from those whom adoption has touched their lives. Reading through the thoughts of these people was very eye-opening for me, and I'm very grateful to each person who contacted me, who shared their very personal experiences and their frustrations regarding the difficulty in accessing their information, particularly their original birth certificate. Access to a birth cert is something I think we all take for granted. I received numerous emails highlighting the great difficulty with which adopted people have in accessing their birth certs, oftentimes spending many years researching and travelling to find out more information about themselves. There was one particular remark in an email from an adoptee that struck me. The individual stated, "I'm 30 years of age and I don't know what weight I was when I was born." A very simple sentence, but something I think that's particularly poignant. And I know, I mean, I have, with my own children, I mean, that would be something they would say, what day was I born on? What was my weight? What did I do? What did I do? And I think something very personal and something so small, it's only a small detail, but it's something that's very, very important. This person further highlighted the embarrassment that is felt when they are asked by their medical history by a doctor, as they don't know. The relationship of the natural parent and the child is a matter which should be decided between them, with the assistance of a third party if necessary, but the access of vital documents and information such as birth certs and medical records need to be urgently addressed. Another adoptee that contacted me stated, "As an adopted person who has searched for their mother, I firmly believe that greater transparency is needed to aid people in their searches for their natural family. I have found my mother through dogged determination and hours of looking through birth records. This does not need to be the case. People will find their families without this bill, but the way things are now are just a recipe for heartache. You are made to feel like you're wrong to want to find your birth family, and at the end of the day, is it not your right as a human being to know where you came from? I would challenge anyone to not feel disappointed with the services that we are currently providing for individuals across the spectrum in relation to adoption. Nobody, I believe, should be made to feel like they are wrong for wanting to know about themselves and where they came from. We need to provide the support and services necessary to those women, children and siblings who are searching for each other and for more information about themselves. In recent years, we have attempted to deal with the past in relation to the Magdalen laundries and most recently symphysiotomy. I think those women who were sent to mother and baby homes and those children who were adopted from a mother and baby home should have the opportunity to avail of a service which would assist within set parameters of gathering information, assistance with tracing or communication. Equally, all people affected by adoption and seeking information should have similar access to such a service. I'd just like to also, perhaps if I could, just mention Philomena Lee, who I think was a person who has highlighted this perhaps more than anybody in the last number of years. And I know that when the film came out and the book came out, and it's you know, but it was a wonderful opportunity, I think, to open up, particularly to our younger generations who maybe are not as aware of adoption and things that have happened with adoption. And I just think I just like to kind of publicly commend her for her absolute courage and bravery in coming forward, and the tragic story that could so very, very easily have been avoided. On a personal note, if I could also just mention, I know the joy that can be involved with finding your birth parents. A very good friend of mine a few years ago, whom I never knew was adopted, and they didn't know until both their parents died. And actually, it was a very sad story where the mother had her son at a very young age. The parents put her straight into a mother and baby home, and she later married the father of the child several years later, and they went on to have 3 other children. One of whom unfortunately died when they were about 14, his sister. But through the change in recent years, and years and years of searching for each other, they did find each other. And the joy, the absolute joy of this person, and they were lucky, unlike the person that Senator Henry mentioned. They were the joy of being able to find that you have siblings, and of being able to find your mother and father, and you know, it's just unbelievable, and I think everybody should have that opportunity to be able to find out, you know, who we are.
Thank you, Senator Moran.